From today's class, we are going to start a new chapter, that is accounting ratio. Okay, and but before starting accounting ratio, it is important to know that sir, why ratio? Why ratio is important? Firstly, you'll understand that thing. Why ratio is important? Then what is ratio? What is accounting ratio? And then we will come to our topic. That what are the things that we need to study in this chapter? Very later. But firstly, let's understand why ratio is important. See, whatever the absolute figure we see in our financial statement, alone they are meaningless. Absolute figure means like the value of sales, whatever the net profit is there. These are the absolute values. So what I am saying is, absolute values in your financial statement are meaningless. Why that is meaningless? Let's understand that with example. Tell me whether this line is a small line or a big line.
It cannot be compared unless there is nothing to compare.
Yes, only on the basis of this line you cannot tell that whether this line is small or not. See, now it is small, but if we compare this with this one, that is big line. So the point is, on the basis of this single information, you cannot give the final conclusion. The information is meaningless actually. You cannot see what the true thing is without knowing more than one thing. Right? Same way, if I say to you that let's suppose you started a business of momos. Okay? And you earn 500 rupees. Right? From that business. So that is sufficient profit or not? For one day? No. We should increase this. How much profit you guys want? 10 lakh? 10,000 per day from momos. 1,000 is good. If you will earn 10,000 per day, that means 3 lakh per month. Then what is the point of studying?
Yes.
Okay, so let's suppose you have started at your momos business and you are earning 1,000 rupees per day. Okay, your friend is also earning 1,000 rupees per day. Because of you, he has seen or she has seen that my friend is earning profit, so I should also do the same business. So he or she bring her own thela near to you. Okay, and now you both guys are earning same profit, 1,000 and 1,000. So both are earning same profit. So we can say their profitability is same. So whom do you think whose business is best now? Actually, you cannot tell. This information is also meaningless because you are having only one information. You need to compare this with something. Now I will give you some other information. You, in the morning, you bring the materials of 500 rupees. Right? Okay. And you take 1,500 in the evening to your home. That's why you earn 1,000 rupees. No confusion. But your friend bring only 100 rupees of material, and he or she takes 1,100. Now whose business is best?
Second.
Your friend's business. Yes. He invested only 100 and he is making 1,000 from that. That means 10 times. And you are earning only 2 times. Only this much. See? So with the help of only one information, you cannot understand the actual situation. And that is the thing which ratio do. Ratio shows a relation between 2 or more figures. Right? What is ratio? Ratio is something which express the relationship between two values. Now, sir, what kind of relationship? There can be many kind of relationship. Here we are talking about only arithmetical relation. Means we will express that relationship in mathematical form. Right? And how we are going to express this relation? That can be expressed in two ways. Either in the form of percentage or in the form of times. Like we just did. You are earning 1000 by investing 500. So you are earning 2 times. Right? Alternatively, we can say that by investing 1 rupees, you are making a profit of 2 rupees. This first way of expression is clear or not? Okay. Either we can say that by investing 1 rupee, we will make 2 rupees. Or we can say we are making 2 times of profit whatever we are investing. Right? Now what is the second relation? When we will express this relation in hundreds. Right? Like you are investing 500 and you are earning 1000. So how much percentage you are making profit? So that will be 20, only 20. That is 200%. Get it? So we got 200%. So what this 200% says that you will make 200 rupees by investing 100 per cent. Cent means 100. Means per 100 how much you are making. So if you will invest 100, you will make 200. So percent express everything in the form of 100. So if the base will be 100, what will be the actual thing which you are comparing? Getting my point or not? So what we understand, first thing, absolute informations are meaningless. Right? Second thing, sir, what ratio? Ratio is something which express the relation between two absolute figures, and that relation will be mathematical relation. No confusion. And how that ratio is going to express that relation? So that expression can be two ways, either in times or in percentage. No confusion. Okay. Now, sir, what is accounting ratio? Because we are not here to understand ratio. We are here to understand accounting ratio. The name of our chapter. So, accounting ratio is when the expression of the arithmetical relationship between two values will be between two accounting values. So that will be accounting ratio. Now what accounting value means? Accounting value means whatever the thing you are seeing in your financial statement, like sales, profit, gross profit, net profit, direct expense, stock. These are accounting values. So whenever we will stabilize a relation between two accounting values, like what we just did, we see the relation between sales and the or profit and the investment, or profit and capital, you can say. Right? So whenever we stabilize the relation between two accounting values, that is known as accounting ratio. So I hope first these things are clear, that sir, why we need to study ratio. Because absolute values is of no use, they are meaningless. They will not tell you the exact information. The very easiest example was that line example. Okay. So it is clear why ratio is important. Second thing, sir, what is ratio? So that we have understood the meaning of ratio. Third thing, what we have to study? We need to study accounting ratio. It is also clear what is the meaning of accounting ratio. Okay. So now let's understand what are those accounting ratios which we need to study in this chapter. That is types of accounting ratio given in our syllabus. So see, the classification of the accounting ratio can be on the many bases, like from where we are getting the data, like ratios for which we are getting data from balance sheet. Second type, ratio for which we are getting data from PL. Third one, where we are getting data like composite data, one from balance sheet and one from PL. We need two values, right? So one value we can take from balance sheet, other we can take from PL. Getting this thing now? Okay. So these are on the basis of from where we are getting data. But that is not the good classification. Good classification should be on the basis of users of that financial statement or users of those accounting ratios. Like see, if you are a loan provider, so you want to know that now that sir, what are the ratios that I should see? So I should make classification on the basis of that, and on the basis of that only we will study things. So we are going to understand the classification of data on the basis of users of financial information. What can be the users? Like short-term creditor, like supplier of raw material. Long-term creditor, like bank loan, debenture holder. These are long-term people who need money from you. Third one, investors or shareholder or management, you can say, right? So on the basis of that, there is classification into four categories: liquidity ratios, solvency ratios, activity ratios, and performance ratios. These are the category names. Now see, what liquidity ratios say? What liquidity ratio tells us? See, in accounting or in business, liquid means not water. Liquid means cash. Anything which is cash or which is highly convertible to cash. Whenever I say highly convertible, that means convertible into cash within 3 months. So what liquidity ratio is? Liquidity ratio tells us that whether a business company or firm is able to meet its short-term obligation or not. Right? So we can say that whether an organization is able to pay its short-term liability or not, that you can understand by studying liquidity ratio. So you can assume that this ratio can be used by short-term creditor, like the person who is supplying you the raw material. He want to know that whether you are able to make your short-term obligation or not. So in liquidity ratio, we need to understand two types of ratio. One is what is the current ratio, and second one is what is liquid ratio. No confusion. And it is also clear what liquidity ratio tells us and why it is important. Who are the users of liquidity ratio? No confusion, right? Now let's move to the second ratio, which is solvency ratio. Now solvency ratio tells us the long-term ability of a firm to meet its long-term liability. That means in the long run, whether a business will able to pay its loan liabilities and obligations or not. Right? So what do you think, who can be the user of these ratios? Who are providing you loan? Like if you went to a bank for taking some loan, 10 lakh, 15 lakh, 20 lakh for 5 year or 10 year. So that bank people, those persons will check your solvency ratio. That whether in the long run, after 5 years, you will be able to pay that loan or not. Okay? No confusion. That is our solvency ratio. In solvency ratio, we need to study four ratios. First one is debt equity ratio. Second one,
debt to total asset ratio.
You are reading? I thought you learned that.
How I learned today?
I thought you have memorized everything already. The second one is debt to total asset ratio. In this same ratio in the CBSE is written as a total asset to debt ratio. Same ratio. Here it is debt to total asset. There that is total asset to debt ratio. Okay. Then third one is our proprietary ratio. Proprietary, what is the meaning of proprietor? What? The owner. Right. So proprietary ratio is related to the owner of the business, that is equity shareholders or shareholders. Right. And the last one is interest coverage ratio. Now what interest coverage ratio tells us? It tells us that in long run whether the company is able to meet is the cost of loans or not. That is also checked by the banks. That it is important that whether they are going to repay the long term loan or not. But it is also important now that whether they are going to pay timely their interest or not. Is it clear? So I hope this second category is also clear to you. What is the solvency ratio? Now our third category is activity ratio or turnover ratio. These ratios, activity ratios, are based on sales and sometime on cost of sale. That's why they are known as turnover ratio. Okay. Now what this activity or turnover ratio tells us? It tells us that how efficiently the capital of a company or a business is using or getting used, right? Or how fast the capital of a company is circulating between stocks. Stocks means not the share market stock, the stock which company is selling goods. Is it clear? Inventory, right? So there are four types of activity or turnover ratio, and that is first one you can say inventory turnover ratio. Second one, trade receivable turnover ratio. You know what is trade receivable? What that thing is? Debtor and BR. Okay. Third one is trade payable turnover ratio. And trade payable means creditor and bills payable. And last one is working capital turnover ratio. Now the last ratio is profitability ratio or performance ratio, which measures the relationship between profitability, like how much percentage profit we are making on sale, and as well as different kind of profit. You are knowing that there can be two profit, right? That you have studied in class 11. First one is gross profit. Second one is net profit. There was only one or two question related to one more profit. You know what that profit was? Operating profit. OP, you guys say. Okay. So there are three profit we categorize: gross profit, operating profit, and net profit. So there are three ratio based on it. First one, gross profit ratio. Second one, operating profit ratio, and third one, net profit ratio. There is one more ratio, profitability ratio, and that is operating cost ratio. Sometimes it is said as operating ratio. If it is written in the question operating ratio only, that means operating cost ratio, not operating profit ratio. Whenever that will be profit, it will be written that is operating profit ratio. If only operating word is written, that is operating cost ratio. No confusion. So these four are profitability ratio, which stabilize the relation between profit and sales. Like gross profit and sale, how much profit we are, how much gross profit we are making on sale, how much operating profit we are making on sale, or how much net profit we are making on sale, right? Right? Okay, no confusion. These are the part of your syllabus. There are three more ratios given in your book. Here one is earning per share ratio, second one is price to earning ratio, that is PE ratio, and last one return on capital employed or return on investment ratio. Those three have been removed from our syllabus for this year. Okay, so we need to study only this much. Okay, so I hope all the types of ratio is clear to you, and what is the why we need to study what these ratio tells us. This is also clear to you, and what are the uses of these ratios. Okay. Now what we will do, we will study each ratios, each group of ratio one by one. First is go for liquidity, we will understand the formula, then we will solve portion of that, and same way we will do for other ratios one by one.